let me get Larry's response to that. Did you hear that, Larry?
Yeah, I sort of wasn't aware that Johnny was coming in on that there. He said he's got a guy from the Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear what he was saying. But did he say he would submit to a test of his knowledge?
No, he did. He said, why would he need to do that?
Knowledge of science?
He's got a guy from the Kennedy Space Center that works with him.
Right, that's wonderful. But what about Johnny himself? He runs his mouth, like I said, he opens his mouth and diarrhea comes out about putting down his betters, real scientists. What about his knowledge of science? Would he put that to the test? No, he's a coward.
All right, hold on. Let's see what he said. Now, he's saying, fine, that's about the guy from Kennedy Space Center, but how about you yourself? He says that, since you get on TV and are talking facts and so forth about science, that he would like to see you take that test. I think that's what he's saying.
That's a diversion on his part. I mean, Charles, it's very clear last week that I showed that Richard Dawkins said in the same clip, he said that we evolved a fish to a reptile, and then he turned around and said that we don't have evolution that way. I mean, he contradicted himself in the very same speech. Kennedy Space Center engineer called in. He listens to Larry. He's seen our videos, and I mean, we're talking to a fourth-grade teacher here, Charles.
Right.
Why is it that Larry can't get a real scientist?
But Larry has had college education as far as science goes.
Well, when he went to college and he applied himself to the fourth grade, and he tries to carry on like, I mean, I've got him on tape saying, listen to this, I spent 18 years, that's his emphasis, teaching mathematics and reading, and what are we talking about? Would you call up, Charles, your fourth grade teacher and ask them real life questions? That's who we're talking to here.
Well, what you're saying is no on the taking the quiz?
No, there's no way I'm going to take a quiz for him. Now, what we will do is we'll line up a debate with him with somebody from the Kennedy Space Center.
All right, hold on, let me see. Did you catch that, Larry?
I couldn't really hear. See, I have to have my TV turned down.
Yeah.
But listen, Johnny keeps saying I'm a fourth grade teacher, which is true, but I also taught high school physics and chemistry. I taught ninth grade, taught physical science. But Johnny won't admit that I had thermodynamics. I had differential equations, advanced calculus, analytical geometry. I had organic chemistry. I'm not just a I didn't have a degree.
His counter proposal is that maybe you could challenge the Kennedy Space Center guy.
I have no doubt that guy, Geoff Rowe, who has a degree in electrical engineering, knows basic science. My point is, Johnny runs his mouth all the time, and he doesn't know basic science. Neither do his two sons.
Mm-hmm.
They're running their mouth.
So you think?
Here's Richard Dawkins.
So you're saying because they don't know science, they shouldn't be getting into the argument? You think?
Here's Richard Dawkins.
So you're saying because they don't know science, they shouldn't be getting into the argument? You think?
Here's Richard Dawkins.
So you're saying because they don't know science, they shouldn't be getting into the argument?
Well, no, what I'm saying is they're playing the same 4 or 5 clips of Richard Dawkins they've been playing for 5 years. They better watch out because if they play too much Richard Dawkins, except those few little out-of-context places where Richard Dawkins looks foolish, they're going to let people realize that Richard Dawkins is overwhelmingly brilliant, that he comes up with unbelievably clever experiments, and that he's a sane, honest person. See, that's what Johnny and them can't understand. They're not honest. They're so committed to the Bible that they will lie, cheat, steal, distort, defame. I have been stunned at how dishonest and disreputable those creeps are. That's why, that thing you've got of me when you asked me about the Church of Christ, and I said I hate them. The more I get to know them, the more I hate them. I'd like to wipe the churches of Christ off the face of the earth. You asked me about the Church of Christ, and I said I hate them. The more I get to know them, the more I hate them. I'd like to wipe the churches of Christ off the face of the earth. You asked me about the Church of Christ, and I said I hate them. The more I get to know them, the more I hate them. I'd like to wipe the churches of Christ off the face of the earth. You asked me about the Church of Christ, and I said I hate them. The more I get to know them, the more I hate them. I'd like to wipe the churches of Christ off the face of the earth. I'd like to get everybody enlightened to where they wouldn't go for that crap. It's because these people are vile. I mean, these are sick people. I think they're just sad, sick, disgusting people. I really do.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Okay.
Thank you for calling. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, John, I'll give you the last word there.
Yeah, the thing that's happening, Charles, is we're demonstrating that you don't have to have science. I mean, you can't study every field of science. Larry isn't credible in all these fields that he's trying to bring up. And what did he do with it? He spent the entirety of his life, as I mentioned, in the 4th grade, out there at his house, got bugs walking around looking at them, making those little money machines. Geoff Rowe has several patents that he has developed with other scientists. He's used his scientific career at this.
Yeah, I hear a little bit what Larry's saying. He's saying if you're going to get up there and make the science argument, you need to know a little bit about what you're talking about.
You really don't have to have a lot of science, Charles, to realize that these guys are using smoke and mirrors to come up with the idea that we came from a fish. A fish actually walked out of the sea and became a reptile. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing. We're showing that you do not have to be Einstein. It's very simple, and all that better be careful about Richard Dawkins. Charles, I have never played the Richard Dawkins clips that I played Sunday night. I only heard about him being stumped by somebody.
All right, no.
That video.
All right, let me see if I can come to the camera here for a second. My last thought to you. Larry says that he thinks that that if you don't agree with people, you try to cut the credibility down and you try to ruin them.
No, I don't. And with Larry, it's very easy on that hand. I mean, he's the one who's told all this stuff about himself. I mean, why would he get angry for me giving DVDs to his neighbors of things he said on the air, Charles? Does that really make sense?
Yeah, but he's saying because you disagree with him that you're trying to discredit him or trying to...
I am trying to discredit him. He is a discredited individual by the positions that he holds. That business about the lesbians. I mean, what if teenagers came home and the mom came home and the teenagers were watching 2 lesbians, and she gets all over them. They say, well, our 4th grade teacher says this is what people do and it's okay. And they're smoking dope, and our 4th grade teacher smoked a boxcar of dope. You see, we're saying Larry is now becoming the standard. That's what he's wanting to do, and he's not credible.
Okay, all right. Well, good hearing from you. It's always interesting.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. See you next time, folks.